Okay, this is the continuous rotation servo video. We'll look at what the continuous rotation servo is and programming it. So, taking it out of its bag, let's see, put this cross-shaped horn on it. Now we can see that the continuous rotation servo is different from the other servos because it continuously rotates in any direction you want. And you also program it differently. So programming it basically above the number 90 makes it go counterclockwise, and programming it at a number below 90 makes it go clockwise. One thing we'll do with this horn that we didn't do with the other one was put the screw in so that it stays on, because we'll be making wheels with these, and the wheels will just fall off and be annoying if the horn does not stay on. Okay, now my screw is holding the horn onto the servo. So wiring up the continuous rotation servo is just like the regular servo. So I'm going to use a black wire. Let's see, so I have a signal wire down here, a dark wire, and a red wire. So I'm going to plug in to the dark colored wire coming from the servo, and I'm going to plug that into my ground on the breadboard. And I'm going to take my red wire and plug it into the red servo wire. I'm going to plug that in to the breadboard. Here's my servo twitch. It's plugged in, and so it has power but no signal. So I'm going to take my there we go. Okay, so we have the orange signal, and I'll plug in a yellow double plug wire so that I can plug it into any old plug, any pin over here. I will choose 8. So now it is wired for power and for signal. Now I need to create a program for it. Okay, creating the code for the continuous rotation servo. Expand this window to make it a little bigger. I have my old code here that I don't need. I'm going to put these in the trash. And now I'm going to take a new servo, and let's see, it was in pin number 8, I believe. 8. Yep. Always good to check. And put a delay of, say, 1,000 milliseconds. Oh, that is not the delay. That is the degree. Gotta watch out for that. Put a delay of 1,000, and I will say 180 for where to turn. So now with the continuous rotation servo, it is not going to just turn to 180 degrees. This is an instruction for the continuous rotation servo to turn counterclockwise as fast as it can. So we're going to do a new thing. We're going to go over here to functions and pull this function out here and drop it onto servo. And you can see it says do something here. So now I know that this is going to tell it to continuously go counterclockwise, and we'll call it, could be forward or backward depending on how we mount it, but we'll call it forward. And now this is a function that we can use in our program. The functions don't go into the main loop, they just live out here in the workspace. So if I want to do a backwards, I'm going to do duplicate. Now I have forward 2, I'm going to call it backward, which means I need the other end 0 degrees. So now I have these 2 different functions that I can use in my main loop. And now I'm going to duplicate it again and make a stop. Stop. And the exact middle, ideally would be stop. I'll say 90, we'll see what happens. But not every servo is dead accurate in terms of 90 being stop. Sometimes it'll be 91 or 2 or 3 or 89, 88, 87, maybe a little past on either of the sides. Basically, you just have to kind of guess and check to hone in. So if you see it's not being still at 90, you can check one way or the other and see if you can, and you'll eventually find what makes it stop. They all have a stop, it just might not be at 90. Anyway, so now we have these three different functions, and I want to actually put a program in. So I go back to functions, and as soon as these get created, they appear here now. So these are things that I can take. So I will say I want it to go backwards. And if this was my entire program, it would just go backwards and then go backwards again. So it would just go backwards forever. And I don't want it to do that. I want it to do more than that. So I'm going to go back to functions, and I'm going to grab forward. And so now we'll go backward, and then forward, and then backward, and forward. And if I wanted it to go forward for longer, I could either increase the forward time here and say 2,000, or I can leave it at 1,000 and just do a duplicate. Now I have 2 forwards. And I could do a bunch of forwards if I wanted to. So I'll do 2 forwards, and then I'll grab stop, and then backwards. So it should go backwards, but it should go one way, and then the other way for 2 seconds, stop, and then repeat. And let's see what happens when we actually copy the program. So I'll go to here to copy, go to Arduino. So do Control A, select all, backspace, then Control V, drop this whole in there. You can see, you don't have to know about this program, but you can always see in here now we have the backward, forward, forward, stop, and this is all in the loop, and then up here is all of the setup. Anyway, you don't have to worry about that too much, or at all. Now I'm going to load it to the board. Might have to cut the video here while it loads. Oh, it's loading quickly. And it's working. Okay. So now we can see the servo is going stop. So it is going through its sequence that we just programmed for it. And luckily for us, 90 was an actual stop for it.